Knowledge is a subset of that. It is a belief that is held to be true, in my case, to such a high degree of confidence that would be worldview altering, discover it's wrong. In philosophy, it's often called justified true belief. Here's a belief that is justified and true. I have problems with that definition because I don't know how you get to truth, and justification is the entire thing that we're talking about in here. Right. So I would never ask someone, how can you believe something without knowing it? Because I think almost everything we believe without knowing, and that we use knowledge to describe things we're really. Hello?
He's still on hold. He didn't hit the button right.
I didn't hit the button right. Jonathan, are you there?
Hey, I hear you guys.
Okay.
You guys can hear me now, right?
Yeah, yes, okay. And actually there's two Jonathans. You're the one in Arizona. The other one's in Alabama. So the other Jonathan who just got all excited for a second, hang on, we'll get to it.
You're the other A state. We're talking to the one in the hot spot.
So you're calling in to say that it's possible to demonstrate how someone can believe something without knowing it?
So I'm only saying that because of something else that you said previously. So basically, I was watching an episode earlier when you were co-hosting with Eric on Talk Heathen, and I think the name of the clip was Caller Knows Matt and Eric Believe There's a God. And one of the things that you had asked him was how without knowing you believe it.
No, I would never say that unless I misspoke. The question would be, how is it possible for you to know something and not believe it?
And not believe it.
There's plenty of things we believe. So knowledge is a subset of belief. And when I say this, I'm saying belief, as I'm using the term, is the acceptance that a proposition is true or likely true. Knowledge is a subset of that. It is a belief that is held to be true, in my case, to such a high degree of confidence that would be worldview altering, discover it's wrong. In philosophy, it's often called justified true belief. Here's a belief that is justified and true. I have problems with that definition because I don't know how you get to truth, and justification is the entire thing that we're talking about in here. Right. So I would never ask someone, how can you believe something without knowing it? Because I think almost everything we believe without knowing, and that we use knowledge to describe things we're really believe. So I don't know if that clears it up or not, but
it might. So can you just give me that again? Like, because I'll give another example. Like, plenty of callers, Christians have called in and said, you do believe in God, you're just repressing it.
Okay.
Like, what would your response to that be?
Prove it.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
That's it. So this is them telling me what they think I believe, and I'm willing to accept that they think I believe this. I know that I don't believe it. Like, I legitimately do not believe there's a God. I don't know how I could demonstrate this to anyone because we can't read minds and you can't get inside my head. And so all day long, someone can say, well, you really do believe, you're just suppressing it. Well, if you suppress a belief, doesn't that mean that you don't believe it? But I don't know that belief is an act of volition. Like, if I'm actually convinced there's a God, I can certainly claim I don't believe.
Yeah.
Right. But I can't actually, I don't know how I could convince myself that I don't, because as soon as I become convinced, I'm no longer.
Yeah, this is kind of like you're doing a thought experiment where you're taking the opposite position of what you actually do believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know how that would actually work even in that case, because we can only think about things we know.
Yeah, like if I'm thinking of a word, like, all right now, Jonathan, I'm thinking of a 4-letter word. Can you guess what it is?
I can guess, but I'd probably be wrong.
Go for it.
Duck.
No, but it rhymes with that.
I had it right.
The thing is, no matter what you said, I could have said yes, and you have no way to tell whether or not I'm actually being honest and accurate. Or I could have said no, and because you don't have access to my mind. And so when a caller calls in and says, oh, you really do believe in God, that's them telling me more about them than about me. And they're trying to portray this as if I'm being dishonest or lying. And when they do that, even though they may think they're right, I now know that they're not. I am now completely, as soon as somebody says, I know your mind better than you do, you better damn well be able to prove it.
Yeah, at least have a PhD in psychology or something along those lines.
Like, here's the reason you've been doing this particular action for years and you didn't know about it, because I've made discoveries about me, about what my motivations are.
Right.
There were something even I discovered within the last few weeks, which I'm not going to talk about on the show, but there was a probably 15-year period of my time where I had a certain perspective on something personal.
So, I'm dropping
that
these two
I'm
pieces
now
off
convinced
on
was for
Saturday.
completely different reasons than what I thought it was at the time. We discover things about that, and somebody could have taught me this, but belief, when I'm using that term, when we're talking about epistemology and propositions, it just means I accept that this particular proposition is likely true. That's it. And I don't know how one
Brandon,
could
yo,
accept
what
a
up?
proposition is likely true and then say, I don't believe that.
So these two pieces
Or
are getting
actually,
dropped
you know
off
what I'm
Saturday,
Right.
and
So is that cleared up?
It does in like how I brought it up, but
I have
because you
to
said you don't
get
you
wires
don't
on the
believe that you
back
can be
of them.
absolutely certain of anything.
Right.
Am I saying that correctly?
I am not convinced that absolute certainty is possible.
Okay. So even given that just that you believe that, doesn't that include the possibility that you can't be absolutely certain that you don't believe in a God?
What?
Never claimed that I'm absolutely certain. I am maximally certain. I'm as certain as I can be about about my mind right now. And all of my positions are tentative. So if somebody could actually make a case and prove to me that I really do believe in God, and I'm just somehow not aware of it, I would accept that if they could make the case.
Or you're just in deep denial.
Wow.
Right. And I absolutely can't do that. I was just, I just thought that was a way to answer your, like, kind of address the possibility
all of this
that you could believe something and
came
not know that you
unraveled.
believe it.
Yeah, yes.
Because you're
I understand that, Jonathan. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying I am not convinced that you could actually believe something and not be aware that you believe it. And even that isn't as strong as the thing that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. But there actually is a possibility that you do believe in God and don't know it?
Well, I'm not saying it's possible. I'm saying I cannot demonstrate that it's impossible. Both possibility and impossibility need to be demonstrated. You don't get
That's
to
why
say
you gotta wear
something's
gloves
possible
looking
until
in
you
that drawer. Yo,
demonstrate the
there's some
possibility.
sharp-ass
And
shit
you
in
don't
there.
demonstrate the
Something just
possibility
fucking
by
poked.
just showing, oh, you can't prove it's impossible. That's not. If you claim something,
Yeah, that's
so you need to make a case that it's actually possible. And that's
right. And
Go ahead.
I thought that's what I just did actually, is that if you can't be absolutely certain, because you said
No, all you've done is rule out impossibility, that I cannot be certain about impossibility, which I didn't claim in the first place.
No, okay, then I must have misspoke. So out of all the things in the world, all the things that you can't be absolutely certain about, one of those things would have to include your belief that there is no God.
Okay, so first of all, I did not say I have a belief that there is no God. So you've mistakenly put a positive position. I am not convinced there is a God. Absolute certainty.
Okay.
I'm not convinced that you can be absolute certain about anything. I don't even know why we're talking about absolute certainty. It's not relevant.
Yeah, no, the
thinking
only
this
reason
right, this
that-
wire
that
should
I
hold
brought
this
it up was
frame
I
up.
thought this
And
was
I'll use the
actually
bigger
an
wire
argument
on the bigger
that you
canvas.
could believe something and not even know that you believed it. If by saying you can't be absolutely certain of anything, and right now you're maximally certain that you are not convinced that God exists, to be included in the anything spectrum.
Yes,
So-
but saying I do not believe that we can be absolutely certain is not the same as saying I believe we cannot be absolutely certain. Those are not the same thing.
Yeah, you've got to prove both sides. You got to prove both claims, the positive claim and the negative claim. So I believe there is a teapot in between the orbit of Earth and Mars. Must be proven, just like I believe there is not a teapot between Earth and Mars.
Now you can start with a null hypothesis and a default position, but it's also the same thing as if I say I am not convinced the defendant is guilty, that does not mean I believe the defendant is innocent. I'm just telling you what I'm not convinced.
Right.
Right. I understand that.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have like another second, there was one other thing that I kind of wanted to touch on. If you got to move on, that's cool.
No, ask Jim.
Go for it.
All right, thanks, man. So on other previous calls, like I've heard you talking about how you don't view things like what is commonly referred to as like thought crime, like someone who has lots of molesting children. That you don't view that as an act of immorality. Only if they act on it, it's an act of immorality. Is that right?
Correct. First of all, you can't know what someone's thoughts are, as far as I can tell.
Sure.
So I don't know how you could criminalize someone's thoughts. You could only criminalize or judge actions.
What it do?
Now, those actions may include actually doing the thing that they're thinking about. Those actions might also include talking about and promoting the thing
All right,
that
so
they're doing.
I took my
But the
tools
thought
out of the
itself
house and I
isn't
left them
necessarily a
in the
problem.
bag.
some
And now
cases,
all my tools
there
are in the
people
bag
who have
downstairs.
thoughts
And I need to
and
go
desires
grab my
to
wire
do
snips real
something
quick. So
which would be
I'll be
immoral if
right
they acted
back.
upon it. And the fact that they continually resist that impulse, that motivation, which they have no control over. They can't help the thoughts that enter their brain, or not immediately. The fact that they don't act on it should be laudable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Sure, and I understand that too, and I agree with that. But it's like you see no issue at all with someone thinking about like molesting children.
I do see an issue with it.
Yeah.
In that once somebody has those desires, that certainly increases the likelihood that they are more likely to act on those desires than someone who never has those desires. And so if they're willing to talk to someone to find ways to curb those desires and hopefully change those desires, that results in an even decreased chance that they're going to act on those. It's not that the thought isn't potentially a problem. It's that you don't have access to the thought, and the thought on its own isn't a problem.
Okay, that was the exact conclusion that I was going to mention, so you nailed it. So thanks for taking my
Wait,
call.
Jonathan, and you're a theist?
Yes, I am a Christian.
Wow. So, hang on, I want to just pause.
You believe in scientists?
So, hey, is science real?
Is science real? I don't think I understand your question.
So, the findings of science, well, there was a caller who called in a minute ago that just said science isn't real. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, I believe a lot of what the scientific community
is the age of the Earth closer to 6,000 to 10,000 years or closer to 3.5 billion years?
Definitely on the 3.5 billion side.
Yeah. Do vaccines cause autism?
I don't know enough about that, but I'm guessing they don't.
Okay. Is the Earth more likely an oblate spheroid or flat?
I'm going to go with sphere. My dad will say it's flat.
Have human beings visited the moon?
I believe they have.
Oh my gosh! So I just want to. So here's a Christian theist who we didn't have to touch on religion at all. We had a philosophical discussion about belief and about thought crimes. Came to an agreement on all that, and seems to be on board with a lot of the science. So just like somebody called Guinness, this is not a show that just hates on theists and Christians and makes them feel or look stupid. We actually can have discussions.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jonathan, thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys, thanks.
That was refreshing.
It's a good time when that happens.
Yeah, that is.
So
Yeah.
I misspoke earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw somebody in the live chat who was getting things riled up, and I said, let's save this spot for Tyler, see if Tyler will call in. And I look at the chat, and Tyler has already called in.
Oh, okay.
Right? I want to talk to Tyler in Mississippi.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, you're live with Eric and Kevin.
Hello.
Hey!
So my argument is that God must exist because abiogenesis is proven to be false because we have failed to produce life from non-life. Life cannot come from non-life because it has to come from life, basically. So life must originate from a living God.
How do you know that?
Beginning and the end. Because supposedly, so according to the secular worldview,
Well,
life
just remember, you can ask us. We're here.
Wait, ask you what?
You said according to the secular worldview, and I've had so many people
Right.
call in who've told me what I think that I just wanted to hop in and be like,
All right,
remember,
that's
you can
good.
ask us. We're a resource. We're here. We can tell you about the worldviews.
No, yeah, I'm going about like the basic the world being
Nice.
where the
This
Earth and the
canvas
universe
is warped, though. If you
originated.
look,
So the universe
it's
originated
actually, look how you can
13.8 billion
see
years ago
the
or so,
side
with the
and the
Big
front
Bang,
of
and
the canvas at the same
Earth
time now.
about 4.5
And that's
billion
because
years
it does
ago,
have a warp
and
like
life
this.
evolving from non-life a few
Ah,
billion
but
years
if you
ago,
frame it and
and
screw it
that
down to a
non-life
frame,
actually
it'll straighten
is
itself out.
that's kind of what you
So actually, there's a distinction there that I think is incredibly important. And it's something that I saw you popping into the live chat, and I just want to make sure that we're super, super clear. Abiogenesis, which is the beginning of life, is not evolution. Abiogenesis.
I'm not arguing evolution.
Okay, abiogenesis did not evolve. It's not dependent on evolution. Evolution is something.
Right.
Okay,
Alright, so-
because I saw you say, I thought I saw you say evolution is false, but you must have said abiogenesis.
This canvas is not varnished.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do agree with that, but I'm not going to argue that on this show because I've seen other shows where other people argue that, but that's not what I'm here to argue.
Okay, so,
That is,
well, I'll tell you what I know. There was a time when there were not us, and now there's us. That
Right.
as people who are much smarter than me.
So I have a new type varnish. Well, it's not new. It's the varnish I used previously was in a jar, and you pour it and brush it on. And then I started using spray can varnish where you spray it on. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a spray varnish on this because these white lines are just chalk. It's just pencil. It is actually a white color pencil, and I already suspect that if I pour varnish on it and I go to brush the varnish in, it's gonna smudge these white lines because they're not actually paint. It's not paint. So, but I think if I spray the varnish on it, that's not gonna disrupt the lines. It shouldn't. I really didn't think about that prior till right now. Like, oh, how am I gonna varnish the pencil? So if I was doing a brush on varnish, I could probably do it right here, right now, because it's not as strong, and since you're pouring it, you can smell it, but it's not in the air as much. But when you use the spray can of varnish, like them fumes go everywhere, and it fucking stinks up the whole floor up here. So I don't like to be up here when those fumes are up here actually. So I'll spray this probably like right before I get ready to go downstairs. Or you know what? Damn, I gotta drop it off Saturday afternoon. If I spray it tomorrow afternoon before I go to work, and then it'll have at least 24 hours to dry, I don't even want to be in the house when these fumes are pumping like that. I might do it tonight, but I can go ahead and put this wire on it. I'm gonna put a little bit heavier wire on this one because this is a bigger frame. Okay.
Explored and learned and looked at the fossil record that the life forms now share common ancestors. Right? We can look at the phylogenetic tree of life and see, and that is where we're looking at evolution, and we can kind of trace that back to the proto creatures that first inhabited this place. And those proto creatures weren't always here. And so we call the beginning, the spot from not a living thing to a living thing, abiogenesis. But in the same way, when we talk about something like dark matter, we're talking about what we have understood, but we're not saying that we know everything about it. We're saying this is to the best of our knowledge what we've been able to come up with, and
I just want to see
and show, definitively, hey, here's how we got from A to B to C. You can check my work.
That's like
so
4.5 inches.
I want to take that whole thing around abiogenesis, and I want to set that on the shelf for a second. because I gave you a decent rundown of something that you can check out yourself. It's not just my claim.
Yeah.
And say,
Now
okay,
y'all see me just eyeball
let's
these
look at
hooks.
the
I didn't measure like a
hypothesis.
spot to put the hook at,
What
right?
do you have
But this right here is like
that
4
shows
1/4.
your claim?
That's right there is
that
like
God
4
created
1/4.
all life. Like, how do you know that life has to come? Because I think charitably, I don't know. Would have to be the answer, wouldn't it?
Well, see, I believe that
Then
through our observation
eyeball
and
this hook
testing
right here.
of the properties
That
around
shit is
us,
right at
such,
4
for
1/2,
example, we know
yeah.
that, like if we see
But
a
if we-
bear, we know that bear must have come from a mother and a father bear, so we can.
But I was always taught like where you place your wire on your picture, because for some reason, like the first time I put a wire on my picture, I thought like to put it in the middle. I don't know why, but the lower you put your wire, the more the picture will tilt away from the wall. The higher you put your wire, the more level the canvas will hang. But if you put your wire too high, when you go to hang it, you'll see the wire above the canvas. So you got to have it right at a level where it's not too low, not too high. And like anywhere from 3 to 5 inches is normally how far down you try to put your hook. I've been doing this shit so many damn times, like my shit is normally right at 4 inches, 4.5 inches without even like measuring that shit. But I haven't measured, I just, like you see, I just did it just to see if I'm still on point with that shit. And I can eyeball a half a foot, I can eyeball a foot, I can eyeball a gram. Little simple shit like that. Like, whoa, motherfucker. That shit look like. That shit looking kind of skimpy. You, whoa, motherfucker, you said this was a foot long. Bruh, that ain't no foot. Eight inches. Try to shit me. I can eyeball shit, motherfucker.
Observe and test that. And as far as we have observed and tested, to the best of our knowledge, life can only come from it can only come from life. It cannot come from non-life.
But then
So
you get to an infinite regress like that.
well, yeah, but see, the thing is, that's the question: is where did the first life form or forms come from?
Well, and why does it get special permission? Right? Because if you're saying that life has to come from life, that means God had to have been created by a God.
Yeah, it struggles all the way down until you special plead that God is infinite and without beginning.
Yeah, prime mover.
Yeah, that's my argument. See, God is the beginning and the end, so He does not have He was not created. I believe that is the only explanation that we can offer through observation and testing. That the living God must have created the first life forms, and He created them according to their kinds, and that's what we observe and what we can observe and test today. We can observe and test that life can bring forth life, but according to the theory of abiogenesis, life originated from non-life billions of years ago, and yet that has not happened a single time today. It supposedly happened through natural means, and yet our most intelligent scientists today cannot even make it happen.
I would definitely urge you to not use
and the most religious scholar can't prove God either, so what the fuck? And when it comes to abiogenesis,
people were making assertions that they couldn't back up.
Geneticists and motherfucking
So let's
all these motherfuckers say like
last time somebody called and talked about
we don't know,
abiogenesis,
and that's it. Let's keep trying to figure out because we don't know.
PhDs who were like,
But
Eric,
as soon as you,
next time I need you to say this, and so
that's the only thing about religion because people are scared of not knowing, and like death is the ultimate unknown, but we actually do know. But then they want to create this story that happens after you die and this beautiful place you can go to, and just because you don't fucking know, and that shit is the ultimate fear, yo. Not knowing is the ultimate fear. And so, yo, what up, what up, what up? So, in order to subdue, suppress, overcome this fear of not knowing, motherfuckers say God did it. That's it. Like, God did it. Where did God come from? He came from nowhere. God is just is. God always was. God always is. He's the beginning and the end. But if he is the Alpha and the Omega, then there. How are you the beginning and the end? And that's a start and a stopping point. But you are infinite without beginning and end. It's just like, I don't know. And then somehow humans are supposed to understand the mind of God and what it wants you to do and how it wants you to live. When one of the ultimate questions ever posed was, if God is Alpha, Omega, a perfect being, perfect, why would it create anything at all? Why would it create the heavens and the earth and the waters above and below the firmament, the animals and the beasts that creep upon the earth, the fish and the fowl and humans? What is there a need for a perfect being to create imperfect things with a finite existence? It's this weird ass play that doesn't make any fucking sense. But people follow this thing for centuries because you're afraid of the unknown, of not knowing. Boozy, what a doozy. So, I just wired up 2 canvases, the last 2 paintings that I completed, and these are going out Saturday to the Wyoming Valley Art League for their February's member show. So these are, well, this one isn't good to go. I got to put a varnish on this. It's finished, but it's not clear coated, protected. The varnish normally needs about like 10 to 15 hours to dry. So I definitely have enough time between now and Saturday to get it done, so I'm not worried about it. But it will be the first time that this is out of the house. Kind of excited for it, just to have some new art showing in 2020. So I have 2 of my other new pieces that are having their first time out the house right now are on display at AFA Art Gallery in Scranton. So I'll put these 2 new ones out there. You know what I'm saying? Start getting people to chop it up about these. 2 self-portraits. Looking very egotistical over here. But they're beautiful pieces. Very, very beautiful pieces. I'm proud of these portraits. Is that gonna lean right there? Nope, that's gonna fall. I'm seeing if I can get it to lean on the tripod. These gloves are dirty. I don't want to touch these canvases more than I have to. But putting those little screws in and playing with those fucking wires with those sharp ends on it, it's always good to wear gloves. Doing that, I done poked myself too many times. And it ain't bad, but it's just like, why keep poking yourself? Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. I can. I can describe the painting. Can you? I'm perfectly capable. Um, yeah, I mean, I have my own personal take on it and purpose behind it. Uh, can you come up with one? This is the fun thing about art. It's interpretive to a certain extent. Some of my pieces are interpretive. I'm trying to be more expressive, more more in touch with my feelings, my emotions. You know what I'm saying? Playing with my emotions is like playing with my art. So, I mean, I can say what I've been saying about these paintings, but that it might actually spoil it for you. I don't want to do that. I want to spoil the art. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you the titles. This one is called Conscious Conscious. You know, if you get knocked out, you're unconscious, right? But if you're awoke and alert, you're conscious, you're aware. But then you have your inner self, your I am. That's your consciousness. It's your conscience. So this is a conscious conscience. You get it? You get it's two different words. It's being awake and knowing yourself. It's being aware that you are aware of yourself being aware. It's a conscious conscience. It hurts my brain to describe this. So that is conscious conscience. I like this painting. It's a nice. It's a very nice. Yes. It's a very nice. I get the window from glass. He get the window from glass. I get the step. He get the step. I get a beautiful painting. He cannot afford great success. All right. So this piece is called. It's the name of it is so obvious though it's kind of corny, but this is something from nothing. You get it? You see? You watch. Something from nothing. Oh shit. Something from nothing. Something from nothing. But what was right before there was something? Because something had to come from nothing. And so you was nothing, and then it was this bang, and then it was everything, and then it was humans, and then humans are conscious. He telling me all of that came from nothing. Light, gravity, electricity, magnetism, dark matter, like all of that from nothing. Nothing, something, nothing. I guess you get that one too. It's a pretty easy concept, you know. Something from nothing. Oh. Something from nothing. As we sit here and ponder this shit, yo, like, what the fuck? But, fuck. Tyson. This nigga from New York. Man, getting these paintings ready for this show. I had to put some little wires on them, get the wires squared away, so we can hang these things on the wall. Ooh. Now it's ready. Every time. They're gonna be a million little me's all over the world. They're gonna be a million of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, I done paint myself about 20 times. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't ashamed of it either. I am not ashamed of painting myself consistently. Alright, this one gotta get varnished. So I need to take this next step. That got to go. You get to stay. Alright, this gotta go next up to get varnished. Ugh. Alright, that's good to go. I think I might actually have me a snack real quick. I gotta have my little my kind bars. Nuts and spice. I'm just saying, that's what it says though. Nuts and spice.
Doing my best. But there are a lot of things that are indicative of how life could have started that we have been able to address and talk about, right? You have protocells out of things like lipids. You have, RNA, which can exist and replicate without DNA.
The VR. That shit seems extra crunchy. Yeah, that shit hot though. That shit was a good paint. I had fun painting that shit. I was like, oh shit, nigga, they shooting me. God damn. I was about to fall out of the chair. Playing that goddamn Resident Evil Biohazard. Yo, that Resident Evil 7 in VR. Yeah, I'm gonna be real truthful right now. I ain't finished the game, man. It was too scary. I'm just keep it 100, bro. Oh, oh, shit. Ooh, oh. You know what? I'm gonna just play some Battlefield. I ain't never finished that game. Not in VR. I might finish it just sitting back from the TV, just playing that shit normal like this. But in VR, nah. Mm-mm. I'm good. I don't need to be spooked like that. If you a real gamer, this nigga stop playing too? I'm telling you, bro. Yo, that Biohazard, bruh, that shit. If you a real gamer, you ever played the very first Resident Evil when it first came out on the PlayStation 1? That game was scary, yo. The first Resident Evil that game was fucking scary. We ain't never seen no shit like that before. You're like, oh shit, what the fuck? That Biohazard, that shit reminded, it gave me that same feeling of anxiousness and like sweaty palm suspense and shit, like that very first Resident Evil, bro. But I ain't got time to be all spooked up just playing a video game now, man. Like, fuck that shit, bro. That shit too scary. And I don't know, I think it's one of the better VR experiences. Like, whatever you imagine VR to be like, that's the feeling you get playing that Red. It feels like the scale and the proportions are perfect. It feels like you're walking through this fucking house. And the graphics are so detailed, and even with the limitations of the first generation VR headset, because there's this graininess and a little fogginess to the picture that's inherent to the system, because that's just how the cameras are. You know, hopefully they can refine it and make it better for generation 2, but right now it's great for real game heads. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a real gamer, I wouldn't even tell you to waste your money buying a VR, because there's tons of content, but not like great content for it right now, especially like adult shit. So, but that Biohazard, yo, that Resident 7 Biohazard, bruh, that shit was scary as fuck though. Exactly, like no. And then the motherfucker told me something. I actually did this shit too, bro. He was like, he was like, if you want to make this shit even more intense, right? He was like, get an oscillating fan. The fan that fucking sweeps back and forth. He was like, turn that shit on and set it in front of you. And you walking through this house and you just feel this little breeze keep coming back and forth. Yo, that shit feel weird. Yo, it changes the whole game. I ain't gonna lie, yo. That shit was crazy. I'm telling you, bro, turn the fan on. Shit make you feel like you really walking. Man, it fucks up your whole senses, cause, and that's why people get motion sick, cause the technology is pretty decent. You feel like you're moving. Your brain, your vision is telling your brain that you're moving, but we got more than sight, smell, hearing, tasting, and touch. We have a sense of balance. We have a sense of motion. We have a sense of direction. And your sense of motion is strong. You can tell, most of the time you can tell if you're moving or not. So your eyes are saying, I'm walking, and your body is telling your brain, like, I'm sitting still, and that shit fucks you up. And then you get the wind blowing on you too, so it's just like all these weird ass fucking signals. It's crazy. I'm telling you, bro. Now I feel like playing that shit just to spook myself enough to turn that shit back off. Like, oh yeah, I remember why I stopped playing this shit. All right.
Now, tell me in the comments if I was wrong about that. But you have all of these different building blocks that are there, right? That occur naturally. And so while we have that, I want to take this and I kind of want to weigh this out here, because I want to know which one. I can never know a thing 100%. And so I'm going to do the best I can with the information I have available and live this life the most honest way that I can, right? So I'm going to weigh these out. I have all of this information about how life could have started, right? And then I have the God concept. Right. Which one has more assumptions?
I believe the theory of abiogenesis has more assumptions, because it assumes that life can come from non-life, but we have observed and tested that that's more toward knowledge.
But aren't you making that same assumption about God?
Exactly. That's the whole fucking point. Abiogenesis can't happen because we've never observed life coming from non-life. You never observed God either, motherfucker. We've never observed. Duh. I mean, people say the dumbest shit when they're trying to argue sometimes, like, the human race now as a collective, we're continuing to learn more and more about our reality, about matter, antimatter, energy, dark, all this shit. We're learning more and more about this shit year after year. All the way from when a motherfucker didn't understand what a will was, to making a fucking will. Even before that, just using tools and stone tools and chisels, like all of this knowledge and information has been stacked upon and compiled upon for 250,000 plus years. And it's okay to say we don't know. For a long time, our ancestors were sure of everything, every fucking thing, and they knew everything because they had their gods and stuff. But the more we learn, and it's like, okay, wow, that is interesting. You did not know that the earth is round and we're not the center of the solar system. We're not even the center of our galaxy. Wow, there's a galaxy? And then we learn more and more and more shit. Will we ever know beyond a reasonable doubt exactly how life started or what happened before the Big Bang? Or probably not. But I still feel like it's always better to say I don't know instead of just like attributing it to some God character that you can't prove that either. Like, you can't prove it, and all it is some old stories and writings from people like hundreds of years ago. Dank. That boy don't know about that dank. He don't know about that real dank. Hey man, God too busy, man. You too busy to show up. But I show you on my personal Facebook a lot, right? So when you on my page and trying to get off of it, look like Pookie smoking crack. I just can't get off it, man. Why is my internet moving so slow? All right, so Travis Prince. I know it's hard to see, but that's me. I wrote. So here's a story of a guy named T Mac. Seymour, bitch. It's crazy. I don't know why this shit ain't acting right. But anyway, T Mac posted this picture of his Bible. Everything highlighted, underscored, notes in the margins of their page. And why won't it show me? Anyway. But he tells this story about how he read the book twice. Read it, trying to break down everything and trying to get a real understanding of the Bible and what his purpose was. And he said by the end of the Bible, after he finished his studying, he realized that shit was bullshit. And so I reposted his story with the picture of his Bible, and I wrote, "You only believe the Bible because you never read it. People who read the Bible actually don't believe that shit no more, or they try to use it over people." But So this is the post here, and these are all the comments. No. But it's so hard to argue with somebody who is like totally encompassed in this shit, yo. It's so wrapped up in it that we just talk this whole time back and forth, like bro, no matter what you say, you really you can't prove it. So just stop being scared. Say, I don't know. I don't know exactly how life started. No one does. You know? But religious people swear down they know everything because the Bible told them. And then I hit it with the classic line too, like dude said, "Oh, I read the Bible 4 times, and he's still a believer." I'm like, so you agree with slavery? No, he said that the Bible is the inspired word of God, and he believes that shit. I'm like, so you believe in slavery, rape, genocide, all that good shit, right? He's like, no. And I'm like, of course you're not. But that's what your Bible says, you know what I'm saying? Those are commandments from God. The God in your Bible is all for genocide and rape. But you're not, so that makes you more moral than your God. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, bro, you can't give me a good reason to believe none of that shit. You a black Christian, you got a short memory. You know why? Black people hate everything about slavery except Christianity. I've got a short ass memory. Cause just a couple hundred years ago, not even a couple hundred, we had what, 160 something years out of slavery? Motherfuckers be like, oh, slavery was 200, 300 years ago. No, slavery ended in 1865. Segregation and Jim Crow didn't end until 1965, where we actually got the bill, the Voters' Right Act. So I really count that shit from 1965, honestly. Like, oh, you were free before that, but really, were we really? Mississippi didn't ratify their non-slavery act until 2013. Public stoning, that's good. I mean, it's for a crime. And if you rape a girl, I'm saying rape is bad. So if you rape her, you gotta marry her, and then it's okay. It's all you gotta do is marry her. No harm, no foul. You know, slavery. It's not a bad thing, man. You know, all you gotta do is brand your slave and pierce him through the ear so that, you know, people know that's your property. Oh, yeah, still here, the 13th Amendment. If you are duly convicted by a jury of your peers, the owning of a person and the owning of what is how it says the owning of a person, slavery or forced servitude is illegal unless. As soon as you say that unless, that means, oh, they certain conditions where slavery is still legal. Somebody look up the 13th Amendment and see what exactly those few words right before it says, unless you are duly convicted of a crime by a jury of your peers. So if you're in prison, you are a ward of the state. You are a slave. Oh, yeah. And you wonder why they incarcerate black and brown people at an exponential rate over other ethnicities. Shit ain't never went no way. But wait, there's more. That unless part, it gets you every time. So yeah, for the Bible thumpers, I mean, if it makes you feel good, I get it. I really do. Because alcohol make me feel good. But is it good for me? You know, you just have to be honest with yourself sometimes. Is it really what you need? Or is it what you want? Because I'm thirsty. And I need water. But I want some tequila. You know? You're a human. And you need an understanding. But you want a religion. I know. But you want a religion though. You don't want no understanding. Screw the understanding. Can you pass me the religion, please? Thank God. Hallelujah. Amen. Bless his name in Jesus Christ. Just believe a God without a religion. They know my damn ass itching. I need to take a shower. There is no reason to believe in any God, really. No God has ever presented themselves to me and said, hey, I'm a God. If a motherfucker do that, I be like, word? You God? Damn. You don't look like I thought you would. So what's up with this abiogenesis shit, man? How did life start? You don't need a religion. You don't need none of that shit. Just be a human, motherfucker. We got enough problems. Instead of worrying about a God and a motherfucking religion. Man, I'm trying to cope with emotional childhood stress and trauma. I don't need everything else. You know? I got shit going on right now. I got a job. I got bills and kids. Y'all just trying to throw some extra shit in there. Make up a God. Make up a religion. Man, I'm trying to make up some damn paintings. I can't do everything. If people had more shit going on in their life, they'll realize, like, fuck all that religious shit, man. I got better shit to do. I got other shit to do. I might do some really religious paintings, yo. Paint myself like Jesus. Smoking a blunt. But where the aliens come from? Who they got? And then you're back in this whole circular argument like, nah, and life can't come from non-life. Something from nothing. Prometheus. God damn, Prometheus. Yeah, because everybody is sworn in on the Bible and God we trust and all this other shit, man. Like you say, this is a Christian nation, and I pray to God and hopes and prayers, and dude, like, like you say, that's the main thing too. Is like these motherfuckers set policies and shit. And then, their main thing is, oh, I'm a church, so we're tax exempt because we're doing the Lord's work. You can't tax the churches. The fuck if I can't, bitch? Y'all got one of the biggest buildings in town, man. Taxing these motherfuckers. Let me become the president. That's just first. Y'all want some more money into the influx of cash flow in the economy? Yo, tax the churches. Man, that's a couple of extra $1 billion a year we get, man. Put that shit towards education. Fuck that. Playing these games. Did we just say the same thing at the same time? Exactly. And you see Al Sharpton and all these motherfuckers was all around Trump and shit. Like, man, y'all some motherfucking buffoons, man. Y'all on that coonery shit, man. Man. Like I say, this shit is a pony show, man. The whole damn thing is all rigged, man. Some people can see through it. Some people can see through the politics, the social issues, the religion. Some people can see through the shit. Some people can't. It's like a wall. They look right at it. Don't know if you stand on your tippy toes, you can see over the wall, motherfucker. Look over that shit, bro. No. The president runs the country. Okay. All right. There is a separation of church and state. Oh, okay. All right. It's all good. If that's what you want to believe, bro, more power to you. Jesus is real and the earth is only 10,000 years old. Yeah, this is true. Hey man, great minds think alike, yo. I just had to say it for you. Like I said, we just saying the same thing. Preaching to the goddamn choir. Y'all weird motherfuckers in here. Some art and education. That's why we all on the same page. We tired of everything else. Some bitches. I'm about to listen to some of this coronavirus report because y'all heard this shit yesterday. Huh? Y'all listening to me? My man was iffy about the numbers. But then also he says too that they're categorizing a whole different segment of the population as, infected. But for the last almost a week, the numbers in China for infected cases of the Wuhan, they call it they got a name for this shit now, Void 19 or some shit. Anyway, but they say that for the past week, almost every day, the number for new cases has kind of been steady or going down. It's only been like 1,000 new cases a day or whatever. And then yesterday it popped up like 14,000 new cases and 253 deaths in one day. 253 deaths and 14,000 new cases in one day. But they said, oh, we're starting to categorize this set of people who were maybe showing mild to moderate type symptoms, that we're going to label them as having the coronavirus, as where previously we were only counting the people with severe acute symptoms as definite cases of the coronavirus. But now it's like, oh, it went from, 1,100 new cases one day to 14,000 new cases the next day. That shit is weird. So let's listen to the rest of this talk, heathen, and then we're gonna put on, dude, that shit's crazy, bro. Then we're gonna put on some of the coronavirus news and see if we can get some new info on that shit, So we're up to well over 1,000 deaths now, and I think it's like 60,000 confirmed cases of this shit, are the total combined numbers.
Well, I am making the assumption that there is a God, but
Yeah, you're
I want to
making
know
an
which
assumption.
one. Yeah, I can never know a thing 100%. And so I'm going to do the best I can with the information I have available and live this life the most honest way that I can, right? So I'm going to weigh these out. I have all of this information about how life could have started, right? And then I have the God concept. Which one has more assumptions?
I believe the theory of abiogenesis has more assumptions because it assumes that life can come from non-life, but we have observed and tested that as far as our knowledge.
But aren't you making that same assumption about God?
Well, I am making the assumption that there is a God, but I am drawing that from the observable and testable fact that life comes from only life.
Well, you're making an assumption that there's an exemption for God.
Yeah, how come that exemption just can't be for abiogenesis?
No, because according to the theory of abiogenesis, of course, just life originated from non-life. That's the basic premise of abiogenesis. That has nothing to do with an infinite being being at play. The very definition of God, at least the God in the Bible, which I believe in, is He is infinite and omniscient, and He is the beginning and the end. So that's why He is the exception. But abiogenesis does not possess any of those features.
So hold on.
He can't be an exception.
Hold on, Tyler. You just listed a whole bunch of assumptions.
Assumptions.
The beginning and the end. The power and the ability to create life and universes.
It's a lot of baggage.
Isn't that way more assumptions, including the one that you're saying is there, right? That God was alive and came out of non-life, right? And then you have abiogenesis. How could you possibly think that abiogenesis has more assumptions? You just stacked a cart full of them.
Well, no, these aren't assumptions. These are the characteristics attributed to the God of the Bible.
How do you know God's
that's
characteristics?
The God that I happen to believe in.
That's
I'm just
very
the very
convenient.
definition of God is He's infinite and He has no beginning.
How do you know?
And that makes sense.
God of the Bible.
But Tyler, that
Because the
makes
Bible
sense.
tells me. Because the Bible tells
Yeah,
me.
at least in our understanding of abiogenesis, we've been able to see, I was corrected in the live chat, but not entirely, that in 2016 we've been able to see ribonucleic acid occurring naturally.
Right, but
There's
in no life form, that's the only problem.
Is a virus alive?
No.
But you have the ability for it to replicate and mutate, right?
Well, yes, but it doesn't have cells, and so it can't be alive. It's not a living organism.
But you're starting to see. I hope you're starting to see where the sweater's spraying a little bit there.
Well, I can see what you're getting at, but
Well,
you see, there is no bridge between like viruses and other non-living molecules and life, like cells and other components of life.
I think that conversation would probably be best had with someone who has a formal education in it.
All right.
Even if I were to say I don't know to all of the above, if I were just to look at the number of assumptions included, I would say that the God concept gets cut off because there are so many more assumptions to that God that need to be tested.
I wanna
And I love that you want to test them, but until they've been falsified and tested.
I want to do a contest real quick. Like, I don't know what I can offer as a good challenge, though. What can I offer as a good challenge? Let's see. Not for a painting, but a chance to be a part of this painting. I'm thinking of something right now. Dang. Let's see. All right. Think to my try it. Nah, nigga, you're not getting no paint. All right, so here is I might actually have another challenge. I might have two good questions for a chance to be a part of this painting. Now, first of all, is if anybody even want to do this shit. So, tell you what the prize is. So in the painting I'm currently working on, the young lady is sitting outside of a tea shop, obviously. But the wall behind her is a big chalkboard, and there's tons of goofy and crazy stuff is written on the wall. You can see my wall is still blank because essentially I want to change all of the writing on here, still keep the bright colors and the chalkboard feel to it, but change it up and make it say shit that I want it to say. You feel me? So, I don't know if I should have a word limit. So if you have an inspirational quote or phrase or saying, something like Vini Vini Vici or what's the other shit? Whatever. Seize the day or anything like that. You have a favorite saying or quote, and I'll write it on the chalkboard. And then you'll actually be helping me create this, and you will have a part in this painting. Now, what you have to do is Mm. All right. Recently, my organization held a flag raising at our local city hall where we hung the Pan African flag. If you can tell me the first name of 3 people who were at the flag raising, I'll let you write something on the chalkboard. Yeah. So we hung a flag. If you could tell me some of the people who were with us hanging the flag, I'll let you write on the chalkboard. You can find the answers on my Instagram. Be for real, bro. I got one. Travis. He tried hard tonight, bro. What's this motherfucker is on one. Like, I'm getting something out this nigga. A painting? Nah, damn. Travis? This nigga is fishing. I gotta get you a piece of art, man. Hmm. Hmm. Are you sure Jorge was there? Haters, what's up? Yo, you can get a chance to write on the chalkboard. We're gonna change all the words on the chalkboard. If you want a chance to write something on the chalkboard, oh shit. Motherfucker calling names. If you can name, so recently we hung a flag at City Hall. If you can tell me 3 people who were at the flag hanging, I'll let you write something on the chalkboard. Whoever get it first. Tyson, you doing good, but I'm gonna give you one name. You got one name so far. Jorge wasn't there, and I don't count. 3 people other than me, man. Of course I was there. That's too obvious. You got one name so far. This motherfucker about to get it, bro. And who else? All right. This motherfucker quick with the answers. He got it. You got it. You got it. All right, now, what you want to write? That's the you tried you did that too fast, so you already must be got something in mind. What you want to say? Actually like that. I actually like that. That shit going on the canvas. Bang! Alright, got one more. Tyson, not for you. This is for contestants who have not won a prize within the last 6 months. All right, guys. Now, I done talk about my TV show enough, so everybody should know how to find it. But if you can tell me who does post production on my TV show, you get it right on the chalkboard. Who does post production for my TV show? Yo, where did I put my pencil? Where did I put my pencil? Fuck. Where did the white colored pencil go? Damn it, man. Oh, you can play. You can play the game. You can't win though. You can't win the prize. Do 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 do. Do 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 da da da. Who does post production? Nobody don't know. Screw it. Yo, this shit won't write on certain parts, yo. All right. Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but the happiness and growth occur while you're climbing it. Tyson from New York. Mm. All right, so we got one tag up there. Gotta figure out some more shit to write. No, you won't get sued. You the one who told it to me, so that's who I'm giving credit to. I don't know the motherfucker who came up with that shit. I know my homie Tyson told me that shit. That's who told me to write it on there. I'm not attributing the quote to you. I'm attributing the suggestion that you made to incorporate the quote into my art. Ain't nobody getting sued over here. Ain't we got time for that. Go ahead and throw 9/11 was an inside job on that shit. Heavy D? Oh wow. I don't like these text messages. You know who just texted me? Asking for some fucking money? Sprint. What happened to the money I gave you last month, motherfucker? Shit. These motherfuckers hit me up every month. Talking about, yo, Trap, you owe me $116. I gotta find a different phone plan. Man, my phone too much. $116? Man, I'm gonna have to get me a prepaid. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is hmm. Hmm. They don't need that. 116. Man, I've been with Sprint for 10 years, man. They can't cut me a discount by now? Something. I can't get a $50 flat rate. I'm going to T-Mobile or somebody, bro. Man, look, bro. I can't do this too much longer. Straight talk, that's Walmart, ain't it? But you gotta buy the card though. That's the only thing. Like, I hate trying to go to the store, stand in line, buy a card, scratch the card off, put all these numbers in there. But by now you just can do that shit over the phone with the account, can't it? Straight talk. Cause I swear, like I be seeing the fucking phone cards in the store still. I'm like, damn, motherfucker still gotta buy phone cards. Like, that's the only thing, yo. And then the other thing too, like, it's my business number, yo. Once again, I had my phone number for like 10 fucking years, bro. It'd be hard up to switch this goddamn number now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to tell everybody in my contact list, this my new number. Yeah, but what kind of phone can you get too now? Cause this ain't no new shit. It's an iPhone 8, but I'm used to this. $160. No, not 60. 116. 116. But that shit's still too much. I just got one line. I mean, it's unlimited, whatever, but it's not 160, it's 116. Harold, you almost got me sold, man. I might have to go to Walmart, bro. Wally World! Heard you can save me damn near $60. Just looking at this shit. $116.70. Who else pay $116.70 for their cell phone bill? Jesus Christ. I get mad just looking at that shit sometimes. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. 10 years into this shit, Sprint. For real. I've been a good customer for 10 fucking years. And these motherfuckers be hurting my feelings. Nigga, you not my baby mama. Why are you asking me for $100-something every month? Fuck. When the last time you see the payphone, man? I know that's right. 50 save is 50 save, nigga. How your reception is, though. I be places sometimes, man, where people shouldn't be. If I need to make an emergency phone call, You know what I'm saying? I gotta have some bars. But at the same time, you know what? Goddamn Straight Talk, they probably just piggyback on the Sprint Tower any damn way. Same service. We on the Sprint Tower, motherfucker. Same shit. Oh yeah, just my regular phone. Just a regular phone. I never had a business account, but I do all of my business off of that same number. So, like I said, I hate to give it up. Hate to give up my number. Hmm. Straight talk. Apple iPhone Pro 11, 64 gigabytes, $80, $40 a month for 23 months, plus your $40 phone bill, so that'll be $80 a month. Straight Talk, straighttalk.com, the best phones, no contract. Straight Talk, prepaid wireless. That boy about to go prepaid, save $50 every fucking month. You know what I can do with $50 a month? Huh? Huh? I can go out for a roast duck dinner. Mmm. I can buy a pair of shoes. Y'all don't know how to shop cheap for shoes like I do, but I get a pair of shoes $50. I can buy me some paint, or I can throw that bitch in my savings until I get old and buy me a 19-year-old Russian girl. I'm just saying, everybody gotta have fantasies. You know, save my money. Mail order bride. Bitch don't speak no English. Wow, they won't even let you look at any of their stuff without telling them your information. Are you an existing customer? Get ready to shop for the hottest phones. No, I am not. Enter your zip code. Oh my God, why you gotta get information like that? I hate telling Google where I'm at. I mean, they already know, but I hate to confirm that shit. Yeah, I don't want a phone. I want service. Anyway, I have to do this shit off camera. I definitely might look into that. Oh, definitely. Got a place called Tannersville, bruh. Man, their Nike outlet, their Adidas outlet, bruh, $40-$50. Coming out there with some. I got a pair. Matter of fact, oh no, I got those at the South Carolina, at the Nike outlet down there at Myrtle Beach. I got a pair of the Air Maxes. I paid like $50-$60 for my Air Maxes, bro. Yeah, Tannersville, they got everything. They got rid of, yeah, they even had a, why can't I think of the fucking brand, yo? Mark Echo. They had an Echo store down there, yo. Like, they got rid of that shit, though. I used to love Echo shit, though. But they got just like they said, just like a regular shit, yo. All the other shops out there. Yeah, that's where it's at. Tannersville, right there in the Poconos. You know where it's at, yo. Tannersville outlet. Yeah, I'm telling you. They got the Timberland store out there. So I go in Timberland. I go in Gap. They got the Wilson Leather Shop out there. I done got 2 jackets out of that joint. Of course, Nikes and Adidas. They got the fucking they got the Banana Republic joint out there. Of course, they got the Old Navy. They got all the regular shops. They got the Nautica store. The what's that? I don't wear a lot of shit, so they only a few shops I shop at, but they got all this shit out there. Oh, just go up there and just chill for a couple days on the timeshare. I really need to. I might get in my pad and sketch out this background first. I'm thinking about just writing random shit down, but I'd rather actually sketch it out before I keep writing on the canvas. Mm. You never got that coronavirus news? Yeah, I think I'm gonna write some shit down first.
This is a story about a magical place where everything's amazing.
Massive Weather Nerd says, when is the big update? This is the big update. Most of the cases, at least officially, most of the cases in the country are in Hubei province. So this is the big update. This is the one. That's the one we're waiting for. Oh, Bojan is watching from the Balkans. Bojan, just please take care to not use all capital letters.
Why not?
Uh-oh, I have to time somebody out. I'm going to beat the mods to it. I did it. I beat the mods to it. The mods are so good, but I once in a while I jump in if I see something. Thanks, Farmer, for your kind words. High Drizzle thinks they're not going to post the numbers. That's what High Drizzle says. We got the numbers. Breaking news. We got the numbers. We got the numbers. Breaking news. Breaking news. We got the numbers. The number of new cases under the new format, the number of new cases is... Oh, wait. It's not the numbers. It's not the numbers. Oh, it's just a Communist Party, some kind of announcement. Oh, my gosh. What a letdown. The party committee had a decision to obey the unified leadership. I don't even know what this means. This looks just like some announcement. Oh, it's not the numbers. Oh, this is so sad. It said 214, but it's not the numbers. It's an announcement. Wah, wah. I don't even know what this means. It's like it's like party language. Oh boy. It talks about Comrade Xi Jinping. Put the health and the safety of the people first. I guess it's talking about a meeting. On February 13th, the Health Committee held a meeting. It's like notes from the meeting. It's meeting notes. It's notes from the meeting. That's what this is. This is meeting notes. They posted meeting notes. What a letdown. What a letdown. Oh boy. That's never happened before. There's never been a case where they posted a non-numbers note before the numbers. What a letdown. It's just meeting notes. Wing, 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 wing. I'm not even going to read it. It's hard to even read. It's talking about we need to fight the virus, basically. Nico says the CCP is trolling you. All right, so sadly we thought this was it, but it was not. See, actually, what I didn't realize, when it's the numbers will have it'll have these numbers. It'll say like 2022-12. So this one will say 2022-13, but it didn't say that in here. But I didn't even notice. Hey, thank you, Tanya, since Felicity, for your support. Thank you, Tanya. Guys, we were so close. Thank you, Tanya. We were so close. Tanya sent the sticker of the shocked hippo. It's an appropriate sticker for this. What a disappointment. What a disappointment that was. We had it. First time that's ever happened when watching for the numbers. Oh boy. Dennis Guitard says new boss starts only at 8 a.m. I was saying that before. It's possible that the new people running things in Hubei province don't like starting early and they just want to do it later. JP, I have not heard about any new schedule for numbers. I have not heard about any new schedule for numbers. But that was a disappointment. Yesterday it came out about 7:45 or 7:50 China time. So we'll see if it does that again. Billy Blue says curtains are closed, lockdown of info now. That's what Billy Blue says. Thank you, Billy Blue, for your support. I appreciate that, Billy Blue. Thank you. So we've been waiting an hour now. Oh, thank you, Holly Napier, for your support. I appreciate that. Holly Napier, thank you. So we've been waiting for this new number from Hubei province. It'll be the first day after their big announcement yesterday, the first regular day of reporting with the new looser criterion for classifying cases No longer in Hubei province do you have to have a confirmed lab test saying you have the coronavirus. You can get the doctor can look at you and look at your symptoms and look at a chest scan of you and decide you have the virus. So this is yesterday that resulted in like 15,000 cases being added because there were about 13,000 suspected cases were reclassified as actual cases yesterday. So today will be the first kind of normal day under this new classification system, but they're about an hour late. So it looks like they've stopped doing it like they used to around 6 a.m. Mike D says maybe the number guys are sick. Thank you so much, Mike D, for your support.
Maybe the number guys are sick.
And by the way, so yesterday's number going up doesn't mean any more people got sick. What happened yesterday is they took 13,000 people who were called suspected cases and they changed them to be confirmed cases. But the number yesterday really, as I was saying last night, the number yesterday shouldn't really change, It's not really saying anything different about the virus in the sense of it's just saying these people who had symptoms who hadn't been tested yet or hadn't tested positive yet, now we're calling them and had a certain chest scan. We're going to call them cases, but it wasn't based on any new information about people getting sick. Amy thinks it's going to be in 5 minutes. Amy thinks it's going to be at the top of the hour. It is the 14th in China. This is not it. It's not it. We thought this was it. It's not it. It's a press release about a meeting. So we have to wait for another message that says 214. We really thought this was it, but it was sadly not it. Let me just check some headlines here while we wait. Real quick, hang on. Just make sure I'm not missing other things. Give me one more second here, and we'll go right back to it. Give me one more second. Nope. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. Emma says the major update is in 15 minutes. But why are you saying that, Emma? Are you saying that just because it was the time yesterday? I've seen no announcement that the permanent time has shifted. Yeah, Phyllis says the 214 is clickbait here. I bet a lot of people thought that was the new numbers, but it was not. It was not at all. Oops, hang on. Frankie Voss says, China is like, no more numbers, you don't believe us, you make fun of us. Sad.
All right, guys, I'm back.
I mean, it seems like the most likely thing now, it seems like the most likely thing now is that it will come out at the same time it did yesterday, which is about 7:50 local time. It's currently 7:01 local time. To me, that's the most likely. I'd say second most likely is it comes out at the top of the hour around now. Buddy says, I'm running out of popcorn. Hey, thank you so much, Dennis Guitard, or Guitard. Thank you, Dennis from Canada. I really appreciate your support. Dennis from Canada, thank you. Oh, boy. See, now, like tomorrow, I don't even know whether I should even like check in with them. It's at 6 a.m. local time. Now that it's been 2 days over an hour late, why should I even bother going there at the original time anymore? iVibe thinks it'll be 3 hours more. All right, hang on 1 second. But it's over an hour late. With no explanation. With no explanation. All right, here we go. Let's go back. Still nothing. Thank you so much, Steve Schwartzberg. Hey, Steve Schwartzberg, I appreciate your support. Thank you, Steve. Phyllis says you start at a later time. The problem is if I start at a later time, that'll be the day they post it. They post it at the usual time. Hey, thank you, Sherry Herman. Sherry says just power through. Hey, that story about the 44 people found is an old number. It's an old story you're posting. There's no information on new case numbers of people on the ship. The 44 was yesterday. But we're committed. I said I wasn't going to do this today, but I got suckered in because I didn't think there was going to be this late. I thought it was going to be earlier. I was convinced it was going to be earlier. What was in the meeting notes? It didn't seem too interesting to me. So I didn't stick with it. Give me 1 second. I do a brief headline check to make sure I'm not missing other information coming out about the virus. Okay. Nope, I do not see any virus headlines right now. Delaware Sasquatch says, gut feeling, no new numbers today after White House statement saying they were disappointed with China. Well, we saw a statement. I haven't heard about an official White House statement. We've heard a couple administration officials say things like the U.S. thinks China is under-reporting the numbers. Will China be upset about that? I'm sure China might be upset about that. I don't know if that'll affect the numbers. Hey, thank you, Delaware Sasquatch. I don't know if that'll affect the release time. Thank you, Delaware Sasquatch, for your support. Thank you, Amy Ishikawa, for your support. Thank you, Amy. Amy and Delaware Sasquatch, thank you. And Basil Balang. Thank you, Basil Balang. I appreciate that. Thanks. Now, what happens if we get to, it's currently 7:06 a.m. China time. Yesterday it came out around 7:45, 7:50 a.m. China time. What happens if we get to 7:45, 7:50 and they still haven't come out with it yet? Then it's like panic time. Then it's like, are they even coming out at all? Andrew says, I would keep another page open in another browser window and use a Chrome extension to auto-refresh. In the meantime, you can cover other news. Well, but the point is, Andrew, the point of having it on the screen is so we can all see it. I want us to be able to get it as soon as possible. So if I have it on another page, and I'm not looking at that page, then we miss it. So I want to get it right when it comes out. That's the thing. So I'm fine hitting refresh. I don't mind. I like hitting refresh. Thank you for your support, Andrew Proctor. I appreciate it, Andrew. Thank you. And thank you, Zoom. Yeah, people are acting like I don't mind hitting the refresh button. It's not like you hear me going like, ow, ow, ow. I'm totally cool hitting the refresh button. Maybe there's some extension that would auto refresh. I haven't bothered to look. If this happened every single day for like 10 straight days, I would start looking into an extension, but I'm fine doing it today. There's something satisfying about pressing F5. Thank you, Zune, for your support from Sweden. Thank you, Zune.
Sweden.
Hold on a second.
Sweden.
Here we go.
Snurjupa. Swedish. Swedish.
Yeah, my worry now is that it's going to be like the national number yesterday. The national number yesterday just like didn't come out. It didn't come out till the end of the day. Hang on, let me just check something real quick here. Let's go back. Let's go back there. Let's go back and see. Our viewer, thanks Steve, thinks they're releasing one national number per day and they won't do a separate Hubei number. But all the provinces released their numbers yesterday, so I haven't heard anything about the provinces suddenly stopping with their numbers. Ray and Naturally says, let Steve refresh. Eat early this time. Thanks, Mom. Thank you, Ray Naturally. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, maybe they'll settle into a new pattern where they do it the same each day at the same time, it's just a different time. But we're in that weird place right now where they've switched how they do things. To repeat, this is not the announcement. This is a post about a meeting. It is not the announcement. All right, let me just check some headlines here. Make sure I'm not missing any breaking news on the virus aside from this. I'm not seeing it right now. The new Hubei province. No. What will it be? What will it be?
Her birthday yesterday, boy. Look at that little drinking. Little drink. You know what I'm saying? Little drinky.
Yes, and now it's going to be, there's going to be a real dilemma tomorrow about whether to start looking at it early because, well, tomorrow, I'll say this. Tomorrow, I'm not going to like linger on the screen because I'm just going to assume tomorrow it's going to be over an hour late because it's been over an hour late for 2 straight days now.
What you drinking on, big homie? Hmm?
All right, hang on 1 second here. Hang on 1 second. Give me just 1 second. We'll go back. Give me 1 second here. Oops. Okay. Nothing yet. Hang on. All right, hold on. I need to take 1 minute, but I typed this out wrong. So let me type it out this way. As I refresh, oops, I'm going to hit refresh. 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 Still not there. Hang on. Steve will be back in 1 minute. I need 1 minute, so let's hope it doesn't happen while I'm away. Give me 1 minute, I'm coming right back.
Steve gotta take a piss, yo. I be doing the same thing, yo. Like, fuck. Take me longer than a minute. I gotta go downstairs, yo. I need a bathroom up here on the 3rd floor, yo. So I gotta go downstairs. A bathroom on every floor, you know? That's how you live like a king. I can take a shit wherever I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to shit when I feel like it without going too far. I've been here over 2 hours already. I don't even know what time it is. I know I'm hungry. Alright, it's a little bit after 6. I'm trying to wait for Steve to get these numbers so we can see how many new cases of the coronavirus China's going to report.
Did I miss it? 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 Did I miss it?
No, Steve, you're good.
No, I did not miss it.
Yeah, you're good.
Of course I didn't miss it. Silly me thinking I would have missed it. All right, we're back. We're back to waiting for the number from Hubei province. What's going to happen? It is now 1 hour and 15 minutes late. 1 hour and 15 minutes late. Hey, let's thank the moderators again. While we're waiting, Mishi Melody is moderating. Thank you, Mishi. Contao Creek, thank you. Nick Oz. I think I saw Contact Creek. Nick Oz is there moderating. Thank you. Danny James. Vicky Wood says extremely elevated sulfur dioxide levels around Wuhan. What do you think, Steve? Well, I saw one or two people online saying those levels were extremely elevated. As far as I'm aware, those were not people with particular expertise in that matter. I think there is absolutely, I have no reason to think there's anything to that sulfur dioxide level. Why? Because you would think if there really were a significantly elevated sulfur dioxide level, that was so big elevated that it implied that some kind of nefariousness was going on, you'd think that some of the experts around the world would have commented on that already. But all I know is that a couple people posted about it online who I don't believe had any particular expertise in that field. I don't think that they were trying to mislead people, but at the same time, I don't believe these were people with scientific sulfur dioxide specialties. And as far as I'm aware, no scientist with any kind of background in that field said, hey, wow, this number really is crazy. There's something going on here. So given that I've heard nothing about it except for a couple people posting about it initially and it going viral, I'm going to assume there's nothing to it. That's my assessment of it. Hey, thank you so much for your support also. Vicky Wood, I really appreciate your support for the channel. Thank you. Thank you also, Shermanator. Thank you, Shermanator, for your support. Shermanator says I should clean my apartment while doing this. Oops. Still no update. Oh, I didn't thank the other moderators.
All right, guys. I ran my mouth more than I painted this evening, which is okay. That's not a bad thing. We got.
If anyone finds someone with a verified scientific background and solid credentials, and or a major,
I'll probably go finish watching the rest of this agenda-free TV newscast and see what these Chinese numbers say. Next time we come back, hopefully I'll have my sketch pad and I'll have some more phrases and sayings written down. 9/11 was an inside job. Top of the mountain. This right here says God is not great. Yeah. So I'll probably just work my way through the table, the little wood slats, getting some detail and highlights on there, make those shadows pop out a little bit more. And yeah, just taking my time with this piece. Like I said, it's just mine. It's not for anyone else. It's not a commission or anything, and I'm not pressed for any show material. So just working at my own pace. Which is slow. We all know slow and steady wins the race. It's looking good though, to me anyway. Let me turn all this stuff. That's off. Alright guys, like always, thanks for chilling with me in the studio. I made a little teeny progress on this portrait that we're working on. And hope y'all guys have a good evening. And I'll get with you this weekend. Peace.